Sallas-Mensah. You're welcome to today's show.
Thank you.
Yes, today we're going to look at those issue that just came up recently about the privatization of the teaching hospital, that is Korle Bu Teaching Hospital in Ghana. What's your take on that?
Thank you very much for inviting me and thank you for hosting me once more. It was rather unfortunate about what the CEO just said, Professor Latte. It was unfortunate for his comment because if you are the chief executive of Korle Bu Teaching Hospital and your contribution of how well to run the company was to privatize it, then I think I have an issue with him because as a chief executive in the first place, the government has already taken your pay, your assistant pay, and all doctors and nurses. Almost everything has been paid for, so you don't need to generate too much revenue to run the company as of anybody running his own private hospital to raise revenue to be able to pay all the doctors and nurses and even to improve on the infrastructure. So as for him, all his job is to manage the workers well and also be able to raise in some revenue to be able to see that he's making enough some inroads. But unfortunately for our system, the chief executive thinks that we need to privatize Korle Bu before it can be run well, and that is rather unfortunate from a manager point of view because if he thinks that he cannot manage it, it's better he has it because it doesn't show the competence and confidence in him. Because for you to say that for a company to be run well, which you are running yourself, it needs to be privatized, it needs to be sold to somebody. The question is, if it gets sold to somebody else, do you think that you're going to be the manager over there? So why do you want the job you are running to be sold to somebody else before it can be profitable? So it talks about his competence of being a good manager, and I don't blame him because he's not a manager anyway. He's just a professional doctor. So if you take a professional doctor to run a professional business, that's what is going to happen because he doesn't understand the economics and the finance about running a big hospital like Korle Bu. And I believe that he's overwhelmed about the way of running a big hospital like Korle Bu because he has no business ideas, he has no business strategy to run the hospital, and he has financial limitations of understanding the figures that maybe his assistants are giving to him. Because if you don't understand, if you don't have a management degree, you will not be able to run a company well, and that is what I think is the problem right now at Korle Bu.
Yes, taking or thinking through what you just said, usually in our African setup, when the thing belongs to the government, everybody runs it anyhow. But when it is for an individual, that is when we really work our heart out and make it really good. So I think, what do you think on that? Yeah.
I think you are half true and you are half wrong because the reason why most of the government institutions are not running well is that we put wrong people at the right place. You hire a medical doctor to run administration for you. That's bullshit. Because if you hire a medical doctor, that person doesn't know anything about accounting, he doesn't know anything about finance, he doesn't know anything about marketing, he doesn't know anything about day-to-day management of the hospital. Here is a medical doctor, a surgeon, very good in his profession. You pick him to run an institution, a big institution. Go to all the hospitals in Ghana. They are all being run by medical doctors. Why do you put a medical doctor as a manager? And at the same time, he has to also perform his medical duties, or he loses his license. So the question is, they become overwhelmed about what is going on. And what becomes the most problem is that we all went to the same medical school. We all came out as the same doctors. So if you happen to be selected to become the manager, you can't control me because we all got the same degree. So that is the whole problem. The whole problem is that we're picking wrong people to manage our system. And for instance, let's say a different manager from not from medical field, but a professional manager is put there as a manager for Korle Bu, guess what? All the doctors, if you don't come to work, he can fire you.
So this case, it's like everybody is taking leniency in that fact.
That you've said it right, because nobody, the doctor, the CEO himself doesn't have any power over the doctors. He doesn't have any power over any doctor, because we are all professionals. Most of the doctors in Ghana right now work for private hospitals, or they own their own private hospitals, and in a way of cheating the government, they register as a government doctor, and they don't even show up at work. If you go to Tema, even 37, you'll be shocked that doctors who are supposed to come and work at 37 doesn't show up, and nobody can say anything to them, because after all, the person who is the executive is also a medical doctor. They all will go to the same GMA meeting. You don't have any power over them.
So this means even the government itself is not doing its part, right? Because there should be some measures in place to check all these things.
I mean, so far as we pick people who are managers to manage our system, this problem is going to be there for years. And also, you see, if you hire somebody, you need to give that person power. If you hire a CEO and you don't give him power to hire and to fire, the problem will be there. So most of the time we think that we don't have enough doctors. We have more than enough doctors in Ghana. The whole thing is we don't know how to manage them. So most of these doctors are running their own private hospital, or they are working for a private firm. And after the government sector, whether you come or not, you'll be paid. So they can choose to come and they can choose not to come. And their fellow doctors who are the managers can't say anything to them. And after all, if you say anything, where is your records going? Your say does not go to any place, and you cannot fire them. So that is the unfortunate situation that we have in our system, and there's a need to change. Even the universities the same way. There's a need to change. Somebody can study archaeology, all of a sudden he's the vice chancellor. He doesn't know anything about management. So there's a need to move away from, hire people who have been in the system for a while, and then we make them managers. Then to where we hire people because they are professionals in that field to run the system. And I believe we'll be able to go and get some way, and then some professionalism will come into the working field in the government sector.
Mr. Mensah, this is a real serious issue that we really need to delve into. But for now, we would hang in here and come on later to continue with our conversation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.